see what FlyQuest can do here in game number 3. Taliyah will be the first ban, not allowing Piglet to play it again after the first round.
Definitely worked out last time for them. Let's see what they followed up with here, though. Some top lane focus might be in order. Balls on the Nautilus definitely worked out well for FlyQuest. I don't know if that's first pick worthy when, you know, Lulu and things are floating around.
Yeah.
Rengar's been super high priority, but not necessarily sure that they need to have that super high priority on it. I have really liked some other champions from Moon, like his Gragas, and whatnot, so well, they do make that adaptation.
They're still targeting Piglet, but they also decide to not allow the Rengar to come through.
Definitely don't want to first pick it, I think, again here for FlyQuest. Don't want to trade that for the Lulu. It was a little bit much power in game number 1 for them to give over for that. And like I said, Moon does have fairly close playing levels on a couple other champions. Gragas also, the reason I really mentioned that and like that one is it's also a flexible pick for top lane and is a very useful tank that they could put balls on as well. Lulu, though, no surprise there. Number 1 pick taken up right here for FlyQuest.
Well, Lulu's pretty much always going to be picked up if she makes it through the ban phase, and with Graves being the final ban on the side of Liquid, along with Rumble and Camille, nobody's targeting the Lulu. So we'll have to see how Liquid decides to respond to this. Lulu has a 100% win rate in this series so far.
How high is the... Well, there you go. Question answered. Shen goes through the ban phase. Picked up very quickly here for Lourlo. We'll see if they can get some cross-map play going. DoubleLift would love to get some Stand United shields on that side to try and help him carry through bottom side of the map for Team Liquid.
And last game we were talking about how Balls is a really adept Shen player as well. Like his Shen performances result in a lot of wins for FlyQuest. So not only you're picking this up for yourselves, you're denying it from FlyQuest, who, if they were running a Lulu and a Shen together, that makes you killing anybody really, really hard.
That's why we see Shen banned off so often. No hesitation, though. Balls will be happy to take up the Nautilus once again.
Nautilus versus Shen there in the top side. ReignOver locked in for Team Liquid as Kha'Zix.
Kha'Zix, to me, into a Lulu and into Nautilus is could be difficult. We'll see. The Shen Stand United doesn't have to be used on the AD carry. It can also be used in conjunction with assassins jumping in for diving onto the back line to try and really convert that play, and can offset a little bit of that defensiveness we're seeing already from FlyQuest, but it just keeps on coming through. And Altec also gets its hands on the Caitlyn this time around once again. Give him some more confidence for his laning phase and for some pushing. But DoubleLift answers right back for a rematch of game 1.
Here we go. Game 1 deja vu. Altec on the Kate, DoubleLift on the Ashe.
This time around, though, the Lulu is on the other support as Lemonnation able to use this one.
And we're not synced up either in terms of which roles were selected for the first 3 picks. You've got AD carry versus AD carry. You got top laner versus top laner. But jungler and support means we're going to have different focuses here in the second part of the banning phase. Orianna removed by Liquid, not willing to let High have that one again.
Yeah, and even with the jungle as the desynced role here on FlyQuest, they're not going to try and further ban Moon down that list and go right for High. I do kind of agree with this. High has played a tremendous amount of Orianna, and that is pretty much his go-to for the standard team fighting picks. We've seen him, of course, have so much, you know, assassin play and, you know, like Jarvan counter pick play and stuff like that. But as far as the standard ones, Orianna has been his go-to, and we're not quite sure where he stands on the rest. Double banning it there with the Victor, as well as obviously following up on the other one he played as expected.
Well, Vladimir banned away, Victor banned away, Zyra banned away, Orianna banned away. A lot of AP focus in the second part of the bans, but now it's up to Team Liquid to decide what they want to pick here. You've still got to find yourselves a support, you got to find yourselves a mid laner. Expect to see the mid laner be the last one.
Yeah, I mean, the Karma and the Nami, to me, will come up to my mind, but that is not going to be what comes to Matt's mind. Thresh, playmaking. Let's see what they've got this time around. Can he save some members with the Lantern? See, that's why you ban High as far as the go-to standard mages. push him right onto an assassin. I think that kind of is what Team Liquid wanted. Let's see if they got too much, though. More than they bargained for. And my Gragas finally does come through there for Moon. Definitely a little bit light on sustained damage for the FlyQuest composition. It might not become a problem, but certainly something to keep in mind, especially if High does not get off to a good start on the Talon.
Yeah, Altec's role is going to be more important than ever.
After the nerfs, Piglet's still going back to the Ryze. That's what Comfort will do for you. It's one of his favorite champions as far as mid lane.
Well, you talked about sustained damage maybe being a problem for FlyQuest, but Liquid's not going to have anything of the sort.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, so the reason why I couched that with slightly is because literally just Caitlyn, if you're empowered by Lulu, is plenty of sustained damage right there.
Right.
The problem would come if, you know, your Caitlyn isn't able to get off the autos, doesn't have good DPS uptime due to trying to kite or something like that, or actually getting deleted. Otherwise, though,
could be a lot of problems, but
there's definitely a lot of playmaking here. Gragas is so good at starting out with early ganks as well as building right into some tank items, so you get to be the front line and start some moves out for either of your laners. Talon is a very aggressive lane. You have to watch out for the Ignite plus bleeds taking you down with the passive combo that it can go for.
Yeah, Talon's passive DOT is so strong. I honestly, every single time I see Talon, I underestimate it.
That's why I'm cautioning people every single time I see it in Champ Select. Even at level 2, you gotta watch out. It's gonna be throwing out those rakes to see if we can get the double stacking. Piglet will have to, you know, be a little bit cautious.
One more game, Kobe, to decide which one of these two teams is gonna be walking away with the win. FlyQuest already going to playoffs. Liquid looking to not go to relegation, promotion, whatever you want to call it. Either way, it's not where they want to be sitting at the end of this game. Game number 3 heading into Summoner's Rift right now. We'll have to see if Team Liquid decides to send Piglet into bottom lane for the 3rd time, just for tradition's sake. And nope, he remembered which lane to go to.
Well, Ryze is the champion he played a lot in solo queue when he had mid lane as well.
Okay. So this is his autofill. You got autofill to mid. All right, I guess I'm playing Ryze. I actually have heard people tell me that they've been autofilled to mid before, and I still have a hard time believing that that can happen.
Because so many people want mid lane in solo queue.
Yeah.
It is, I believe, the most contested role for solo queue. Regardless, though, not going to be a factor here.
Right.
Let's take a look at any sort of invades towards Raptor camps. I actually put his defensive ward in the Pixel Bush.
Yeah, I'm just trying to keep an eye on things, make sure nobody's coming over the wall to get some eyes on the Raptors or maybe onto the red. But instead, it's going to look like the start of a football play here. Line of scrimmage just drawn by both teams, nobody really moving. American football, by the way, for you EU viewers, that probably doesn't make any sense at all, but
for those hardcore EU viewers staying up.
Hardcore EU fans watching
See who-
LCS. Yeah!
Or those who traveled here. All right, let's take a look here. Nobody either doing any sort of shenanigans on the bottom side. They're sticking to their own brush. Balls does go get a little bit of vision here. Not going to leave his ward quite yet. Haha!
All right, now.
Not on
keep an eye
Raptors, must
on
be on the red.
What's going on? ReignOver and Lourlo taking down this red together. Power of friendship means that ReignOver is going to have a little bit easier time clearing that one out.
And it is pretty important because you'll suspect that if he's starting there, especially with a pull, he might be looking for some early action, early ganking on the Kha'Zix, and he's definitely looking for some early action. It's actually an invade that he's going for here. He didn't have to use his smite because Shen, if you start Q, you can get a lot of percentage health damage with those 3 empowered auto attacks. Lourlo helped ReignOver off to this start. Plus, a little bit of a counter invade here as Moon is going deep for this blue buff, and the FlyQuest bottom lane shoved up as it's a Lulu Caitlyn. Super high power there, so Moon unfazed, and it's a good collaboration here from the FlyQuest team. Balls goes in, gets the ward onto ReignOver, sees what his plan is as he exits the jungle, then the bottom lane shoving up for FlyQuest really allows Moon to answer and take away the extra camp here. The next step, though, would have been for Balls to respect the top lane start for ReignOver.
But I don't know if that respect is there, Kobe. First blood for Team Liquid.
Checked off so many things.
Yeah.
Saw it start. Told the jungler, so my jungler is going to invade his side. But step number 3 there, if my jungler is invading his blue side, then their jungler is invading my blue side. Balls goes down, first blood. That's going to be good news for Team Liquid.
Good early momentum for them. Got not only the first blood, but the first blood assist yet again, so an extra 200 gold in their pockets from that. As the bottom lane push continues with Altec and Lemonnation, utilizing the ranged potential of the Caitlyn and the Lulu together to really make life hard for DoubleLift and Matt.
Doing their best to CS under turret. And Altec and Lemonnation with the super-powered Lulu Caitlyn shove composition will be able to hold on to their CS lead.
Peacemakers and Glitter Lances just make real short work of minion waves, and Thresh doesn't really have anything that can respond to that.
The Peace Lance coming for your face. Oh, he missed it.
Rip. Matt walking himself back. Still can't do a lot against him. He's just kind of got to walk away and allow himself to get shot by this Lulu over and over again.
Yep. Regardless, Moon's going to return to his red quadrant now to pick up his red buff, and control wards in tow for both of the junglers.
I always like to see bottom lane players remove those blast cones too from the enemy jungle, because it is such an effective way for a jungler to try to get a sneakier gank in.
Exactly. The next step to that play, I love that play and using your ward over there. The next step is to get the Scuttle Crab, because then you cut off all avenues for ganking. ReignOver did pop the Scryer's Boom before he went for this, so Moon knows he's in this half of the map. Does not know that he's jumped over and then blast cone back, leaving a control ward on his side though.
I like it. I like it. Just in and out, gets it done. Gets back to safety. Moon farming up his own Raptors. Neither one of these junglers really finding anything huge to do right now. We know that ReignOver got the first blood, now hanging around on this bottom side of the map, getting the scuttle for his own teammates, preventing it from being picked up by Moon to provide that extra safety for the bottom lane.
Juicy control ward farm fills in the space between your first clear and the respawn of your camps. If you're not getting a gank off, then that's valuable CS. Golden experience are awarded for ward kills.
And there's another one.
Yum. Yum, yum.
I shove.
That's what you say as a jungler every time you get one of those.
Yum, yum, control ward.
ESA. All right, because those wards were just cut out by ReignOver, their High is very clearly hovering on top side. Knows that he has to hover towards his jungler. Bottom side should be doing the same though, playing a little bit more defensively, knowing ReignOver could be anywhere on this side.
Exhaust for Piglet too. But Matt is now looking to make the play. Altec caught in a spot he doesn't want to be. Liquid's gonna go up 2-0.
Playmaking from Thresh, so good at punishing lanes that move up like that, and that's why we caution against pushing up when you don't know the enemy jungler has recalled from this half of the map or not. They just saw him clearing out those double control wards by mid lane, and ReignOver moves in nicely for a good play for Team Liquid on the bottom side. Moon is getting some counter jungling done to get a little bit back, but not going to be a tremendous amount.
Lourlo walking himself back up in the top side, keeping even on the farm with his opponent. Farm's honestly really even across the board again. Biggest difference is there in the jungle, but jungle CS is something that's really unreliable for us to really talk about, simply because there's so many tiny chickens and tiny krugs, and you have some camps that's really just a gromp or a buff. Depending on which ones you're doing, you can have a very similar gold flow, but at the same time have vastly different CS. So thanks to the first blood, there's actually still a 200 gold lead for ReignOver over Moon, despite the CS discrepancy.
Staring him down. Does not allow him to complete the recall inside lane. I wonder if this, forces some action here. Matt is waiting around mid lane. They can tell it's coming. Moon as well, I believe, seen by that ward.
Matt will drop his own ward, try to clear out the one that Moon placed down, but sadly doesn't have the attack speed to do so before it fades into invisibility. ReignOver hanging around this bottom side as well. Almost level 6, needs one more camp to get that on the Kha'Zix. Moon with his ulti. Coming down towards bottom side, DoubleLift stepping right back up, not really afraid of this. He's got Matt and ReignOver nearby. Just wants to clear out this wave as fast as he can. High's decided his way down here. It's gonna be a bot lane bonanza, boys. Knives are thrown out. High has made himself evident. Death sentence from Matt doesn't go anywhere.
Noise complaint has been filed. Hold the party.
Yep, looks like the party's just gonna be shut down. Somebody called the cops. Now everybody left.
Everybody, ID's out. Here comes Piglet, though. Let's see if he gets...
All right, there's the gas. Party's back on. Matt's gonna be targeted. More damage coming out. ReignOver soaking as long as he can. Forced to jump back. Flash into the taunt. Now for Lourlo. Into the back lines, trying to get more damage on the Moon. Can't quite find it. High's ulti putting minor damage on the members of Team Liquid, but both sides will have their junglers taken critically low, but no bodies.
Lamest party ever. Let's get a round number 2. Balls is coming in.
Lourlo getting himself back. Balls comes around from the side. Almost yanked him out of that. That would have been so cool.
All right, turret does end up going down in FlyQuest's favor, though. First turret as well, so you get the extra cash here. And this is definitely teetering. Game number 3. Tension is definitely here. Team Liquid battling to get out of the promotion tournament. See if they will be able to accomplish their goal. Piglet right back to mid lane, shoving the wave.
Yep, with the blue buff, life is pretty easy, pretty happy for Ryze. Spam those spells as much as he wants, stack that tier up that much more rapidly.
Happy day for Ryze. Meanwhile, the turret went unanswered. So because everyone joined the party down there and they were unsuccessful in defending, it allows FlyQuest now to be the ones to dictate tempo. They can move their AD carry up to the top side, start shoving this wave, and once again, the classic Caitlyn, Lulu, minion wave, early game pressure. Should be able to move on over here to the top side. Stand United was also used in that little bottom lane conflict, so Lourlo would have to use his regular old teleport to get up here if he wanted to join.
And you know, you always got to play a Shen game different from other kinds of games, right? Like Stand United has to be respected by FlyQuest at all times if they want to try to make some kind of a play. Currently down 0-2, but up 1,000 gold thanks to the turret first blood that they were able to find for themselves. Looking pretty solid here. Got to be feeling good. Maybe this game's just a little bit, you got to think too, they might be able to relax a little bit more here in this third game, knowing that they won the second game, knowing that they are in playoffs.
FlyQuest?
Yeah. You're still, obviously you still want to win the series. You don't want to just say, all right, we got one, see you guys later, we're going to go home. They would like to win the full series, but there's just not that intense level of pressure like you must win this specific game or you don't get to go to playoffs anymore. They will get to go regardless of the outcome.
Sometimes that can make you play better, a little weight lifted off your shoulders.
Yeah, just a little bit of the pressure alleviated. Meanwhile, for Liquid, the story's the opposite. Last game was the one that they would have been able to breathe a little bit easier because they know that losing it doesn't actually steal their fate.
If they won the last game, yeah.
Yeah.
Finished off the series, no problem.
Everything's great. Everything's easier. Fantastic, but this game now, the pressure is on. It ain't all sugar and rainbows anymore, Kobe.
Back up. Gotta be a little bit scared here. Balls is definitely shoving in the bottom lane, so not only can he shove in the lane, get a little bit of damage on the Lourlo too.
Dredge line not going to find its way on there. Lourlo just going to keep on farming up. You can see the longsword and the ruby crystal in his inventory, so probably going to be going for that Jarum's Fist that'll build into the Titanic Hydra sooner or later. Meanwhile, the Bomby Cinder on balls going to mean that he's going for that Sunfire Cape. Help him push the lane, maintain that much more pressure, that much more presence.
All right, let's see if FlyQuest can actually translate this into a little bit more pressure. Balls is kind of just roaming around as it takes Shen a super long time to push up waves at this stage of the game.
Yeah.
No area of effect to his name, and there we go. He's finally found the objective to go for. FlyQuest move on in. Should be a very trivial Drake for them to take. They can then send their solo laners right back to their lanes, pick up the farm super easily. Yep, there we go. Nobody needs to stick around. Moon takes care of it. And they do not lose out on any minions. Should get there just in time.
Mountain Drake for FlyQuest to start things off. Next one's going to be spawning a little bit after 18 minutes. It's always a nice bonus to have under your belt. Going to make the subsequent ones that much easier to take. Turrets are that much easier to take. Just makes everything a little bit faster in terms of the objective game. As now they've got their bot lane on the top side. Altec utilizing the power of the Caitlyn to try to see what he can make happen up here. Matt hanging around though.
This is a two-part plan. DoubleLift was seen walking into that bush, and they didn't see him exit, so they're spam pinging the bush. They think he's around. They have not suspected that Matt is in this bush in the river. Aha!
Oh, it's going to be a full 3v3, Kobe. Altec going to be targeted. DoubleLift's got the stand united, keeping him alive. Altec now taunted, the damage coming through. DoubleLift and Lourlo working together to take him down before the ulti comes through. ReignOver grabbing the kill onto Moon, hides into the fight, but he's exhausted. 2 dead on the side of FlyQuest. Liquid has found an awesome opportunity.
Slick moves with the Thresh, even though the hook lands on the minion, able to get in there for the flay. Ignite gets the kill down, and Matt looking for more.
Matt gonna fire off the hook back towards high, not finding the connect on that one. Balls high and Lemon doing everything they can to clear these waves out, and they will defend that turret.
Gotta be a little bit cautious here. Piglet actually found out. Good lantern previously as well. They got DoubleLift out of arm's reach of the Nautilus. So kills went unanswered. 2 over there for Team Liquid. Even with that turret deficit, they've pulled ahead in gold. So there's a lot of standing. Go out here, left made up. And they pulled the trigger on this play just a little bit sooner than FlyQuest do. Man, that hitbox there. Unlucky. Lourlo comes in, stand united, boom, hits the taunt right out of that play. Then lanterns him right away. Even though they moved up there with the roam, Piglet and ReignOver also able to solo out that kill.
Team Liquid now 4-0, but barely just taking over the gold control in the game. FlyQuest doing good at keeping themselves relevant, even if they fall behind in terms of the kill score. Farm close between the carries. That's a nice small lead for balls over Lourlo as well. But 2-0 and 1 on ReignOver, doing well on this Kha'Zix in the jungle, having a good game for himself so far, being in the right place at the right time, and really just enabling Liquid to make these plays that they're making.
Yep, ReignOver definitely having a good one here. Matt as well, a couple of setup plays.
Speaking of setup, hanging around in this pit.
Patience.
Not patient enough. Lemon knew something was a little bit funny there, and he waited around long enough to sniff it out in time. Matt and DoubleLift have moved themselves back down towards the bottom side. They tried hanging out top for a while, decided that wasn't really their shtick. ReignOver down here again. Death sentence over the wall. Matt not finding the mark. And ReignOver is polymorphed and won't be able to take the control ward in time. DoubleLift and Matt, though, just shoving the wave up and then backing themselves out as they move back towards the Drake pit. Remember, Drake's not going to be spawning for another 3 minutes or so.
Oh, can he get another hook?
Thinking about it. Oh, this one, he's got it! ReignOver grabbing a killing spree. Moon going to be taken very low, throws out the cast, flashes away. High looking to protect. Matt and Piglet make their way into the fight, but High is waiting with open arms and readied blades. He grabs himself one, jumping away over the wall, but can he parkour his way to freedom? Yeah, I think he's good.
Oh man, that was 3 stacks of the passive on ReignOver too. But High's eyes were on escaping with his own life. Does get over the wall and gets that kill onto Matt. A little bit of gold right back there for Team Liquid even after the pick. So still, this game, blow for blow once again. Game number 3, and it's all coming down to some mid-game team fighting. Let's take another look at this one. Matt, boom, lands the hook, insta-kill. The Ashe arrow is not there afterwards for a secondary pickup because they used it to secure that first one. And then here, big burst onto Matt. He gets snared up, flashes away to safety, and he's able to parkour over the following wall.
Yeah, Matt had a good hook, but then Liquid just got a little bit too anxious to get that kill.
Gotta have a healthy amount of respect for the Talon damage.
It's so surprising. That's what I said earlier. You just don't recognize that that bleed is going to get you that hard, and then he shows up in the fight and melts everybody away. Ghost Blade now completed for him, means he's going to be that much more deadly when he does find his way into those fights, as Piglet's got his own first item now done as well with the Rod of Ages. Gonna need some time to stack it, though. Still just a baby.
Gonna be stacking up, and he's gonna need some time here to deal with this Moon gank. His flash is still on cooldown for a few more seconds. Looks like he should be able to back off in time for it to come back up and be just fine. Moon also leaves the mid lane, so no danger at the moment.
30 seconds on that Drake timer, though. That could be a big point of contention between these guys.
And again, Stand United is available for that Drake. Vision pre-work should be laid.
Nobody's really messing a lot with that right now, though. Normally you expect to see teams setting up a little bit earlier than this, but the Drake's going to be on the board by the time anybody even really works themselves into that area. There are some wards placed down by FlyQuest already. You can see ReignOver with his sweeper moving through, trying to clear out whichever of those he can find, as FlyQuest will do the same thing with the Scryer's Bloom, walking forward and removing that vision line to control the area themselves.
Yep, moving it up and looking for a pick of their own, it seems, as they're trying to pull Team Liquid into the river for a bait.
There comes the traps.
Yeah, they know that there's 2 more hits left on this ward. And Altec trying to cut one off. There you go.
Altec will shoot down the control ward while they continue to set up for this. Liquid back towards mid lane.
Every second here that Team Liquid buys is some more time for Lourlo on the top lane on this Shen to try and take some damage off the turret, push those minions in. He's got to stand united. He'll be able to join reactively pretty comfortably. And it's really on FlyQuest to pull the trigger here and get things started, and they do.
There they go. Infernal Drake is the target. Nobody even responding yet from Team Liquid, so looks like FlyQuest going to be taking this for free, just like the first. Turret destroyed in the top lane as well. High jumped on by ReignOver, gets himself away just fine.
Holds onto the ult critically as well, just in case there was a team fight afterwards.
FlyQuest getting themselves the Drake, losing out on the top lane turret, so an objective trade there, 1-for-1. The Infernal Drake going to be nice, though. We talked about how in game number 1, that's one thing that was an advantage for Team Liquid, just farming up those Drakes as the game went on. Being able to pick those up can have really serious consequences and implications later on in the match, when that might be the only thing separating you and the other team.
Yeah, definitely true. And Team Liquid, even though Team Liquid has so many ways to pick people off with Ashe Arrow, Realm Warp, Kha'Zix jumping in with a Shen stand united on his back, Matt looking for these hooks on Thresh. There are a lot of potential uses for these skill shot abilities and pick abilities. The problem is there aren't a lot of great targets for the Ashe Arrow. Like, Hai can just pop his ultimate on the Talon. You get some move speed there, try and dodge out, go invisible. Lulu can provide speed boost to either her or Caitlyn, who's next to her. Moon, Gragas, even though he's very large, very quick on his feet.
Surprisingly mobile.
And the last one left there who's not mobile is the main tank. Not always a super bad target sometimes, if the rest of the team's around him, but if he's left alone, can also be a target, I guess.
And it isn't like game 1, where the main tank's not really that much of a tank anyway. I mean, this is a Nautilus. This is somebody that's going to take a lot of effort to actually whittle down and burn through, so Liquid will have their work cut out for them. Unless they can find some super clutch arrow on some sort of an isolated target. They've still only got a 1,000 gold lead. Very close game here in game number 3. Both teams playing it similarly, both teams playing it to the best of their abilities. But ultimately, only one manages to walk away with that victory screen and the enemy exploded Nexus. The death sentence over the wall, not finding Moon. Summoner spells up, all 10 of them for FlyQuest. 9 currently for Team Liquid. Shen still waiting on that TP cooldown to come back up in just a couple of seconds here, and then he'll be back to having that double global threat.
Rome coming in here from Hai as well. He's returning to the mid lane. This is the mobility boots Talon, by the way. It is pretty annoying for some people to lose their in-combat speed with those. Does allow him to threaten multiple lanes at the same time. No, there's the arrow.
Arrow finds his way on the Moon. Lemonnation going to be forced to ulti himself and flash away. ReignOver grabbing the kill onto Altec. Lemon dead as well. ReignOver in a little bit of danger, but getting himself back to the back of the fight. Hai now into the back as well. Going to be dropping the ulti onto DoubleLift, getting rid of him. The DOT is extreme, and Ball's now going to be taunted up. Liquid trying to make more happen out of this, seeing what they can get. Piglet over the wall with the flash into the Rune Prison, not going to find the damage. But Lourlo has the kill onto Balls, a 3-for-1 so far, trying to make it 4. Hai getting himself away. It's so hard to chase the Talon, but they predict it. It's going to go 1-for-1, though.
Aha! ReignOver gets a little close there, trying to cut him off, and they do end up getting the kills. Pretty long chase, but Hai salvaged quite a few of them for FlyQuest to make sure that it wasn't kind of a landslide victory for Team Liquid. That was one of those arrows that they were looking for. They find it onto one of the tanks and still go for the play. It is sort of this re-engage. And the real kicker is the hook here from Matt onto Lemonnation. Stand United was also used onto Matt, the Thresh, who was about to go in, rather than ReignOver, who is already very deep in enemies. And that might have been a bit different there if ReignOver was able to get the shield and stay in for a little bit more DPS in the team fight. But regardless, Team Liquid still do come out ahead and are able to pick up the extra kill. Just barely not getting the edge of that taunt. They did make taunt a bit skinnier hitbox quite a long time ago, several patches, but is felt, and you don't get those giant elbow taunts built to connect.
The elbow taunt. But Team Liquid, they're feeling good about the outcome of that fight anyway. 4 for 2. High responsible, like you said, for both the 2 picked up by FlyQuest. So definitely carrying his weight on this Talon with the Duskblade now completed. That means even more lethality packed into his build. So
He moves.
even if it's been nerfed, it's still the best way to go about doing your business there on Talon, getting to those squishy targets. I mean, you saw what he did to DoubleLift in the fight. Just into the back line, the Ignite plus the Bleed plus the Burst was just too much. No way he could get away from that.
Exactly, and then he's using the combination of the Storm Raiders and Flash to get out. Storm Raiders definitely one of the most popular. Thunderlords is also an option, but so many more are favoring that Storm Raiders for the increased team fighting abilities.
And we talked at the beginning of this game, Kobe, about Altec and how he would be the one sustained damage threat on his team. And it would just be bad potentially if they end up in a spot where he's not able to do the damage, he's not able to be relevant. He's 0-3 right now, so he's not having the best game out there, but he's farming very well. He's staying caught up with his opponent in terms of itemization completion. He's got the Infinity Edge and the Runehands, so it's not really that big of a problem.
Exactly. Even though he's got those 3 deaths, he's actually technically ahead of DoubleLift in gold right now, up a little bit over 300 due to the farm, and it looks like he's about comfortable here. He's got his 2 item spike at least. See if he's able to get another one on top to really start bringing it through. I mean, the Lulu does kind of cover a little bit of gap and jumpstart that with her attack speed she can add to you. But you definitely do like to get the little baby last whisper, as you say, coming in, or your next heal item pretty quickly to really start shredding through the tanks. Meanwhile, a little bit of force here on the Infernal Drake.
Another one. These things are just all over the place today.
This whole series.
It's just nothing but these. It's encouraging the fights. Moon tossing out the cast, only going to be knocking DoubleLift away with it. It's a pretty big ult to not have available. ReignOver jumps over the wall. Arrow comes down onto Moon. Lourlo coming around from the side, looking to make this happen if they can. Moon going to be locked down, but Wild Growth to keep him alive still melted away. Lourlo grabbing a rampage from that one. High taken too low to really do much of anything, ult or not. Liquid takes the 1-for-0 fight, and they're heading for the Drake.
So many pick tools here for Team Liquid. They're able to find the mark here once again. And that jungler kill should enable them to get their first Infernal Drake to add to their nice gold lead. Previously, FlyQuest, what they were banking on was their Elemental Drake lead. But after this one, and the first hook landing on Moon really drew out his ultimate. Then the second one is the one that signs his death there.
And that's what you said earlier, Kobe. You were like, sometimes you can ult the tank. Sometimes it works, and sometimes Piglet gets solo killed by High. Zonya's trying to keep himself alive. Stand United comes out, damage gonna be returned. No kill today.
Good save there by Lourlo to come in. Let's see, he does have his teleport, and it was a teleport cancel from Balls, so actually fairly good there for Team Liquid, considering they now have the extra side lane pressure there. If Lourlo can head up to top, nobody can really like push out High or answer this Talon very heavily, but a Shen can hold the wave very well. Piglet as well on the rise does have his Realm Warp to try and make up a decent amount of distance. The fight does break out due to one of those hooks, arrows, or assassin initiations.
High having to jump away from Piglet now. ReignOver hanging around in the wings just in case anything gets too crazy. But High getting himself back means that nothing really else is going to be happening at all right now. that Zhonya's Hourglass. We saw how effective it was in preventing Hive from being able to find the kill on the Piglet. Definitely a useful item in a situation with a massive AD assassin running around. Easily the biggest threat on FlyQuest right now to Piglet and everyone else on Team Liquid's safety. Liquid clearly not too super concerned about it. Still with a 4,000 gold lead, moving into enemy territory, clearing out some wards.
Yeah.
Seeing if they can set some kind of a trap here on this control ward maybe.
That is a rough situation for FlyQuest. It's kind of hard to win, you know, objective fights or team battles if the biggest threat is the Talon. As we said, Altec's farm is pretty decent, and he has gotten the armor penetration to complement his Hurricane and Infinity Edge, so he's kind of there to the sort of 4-Vantage power spike. Lourlo is super deep though.
Lourlo taking a lot of damage, but he's the tank. Explosive cast, ReignOver gets popped. Now Lourlo is going to be going down so fast, only a little health remaining. High over the wall, needs to parkour over this one now, looking to make his way onto DoubleLift. Piglet is number 2. DoubleLift needing auto attacks, finds the arrow onto Altec, immediately popping that summoner spell.
Baron!
To get himself closer and find the double kill.
Oh my goodness, what an ult there from Moon. They find Lourlo out, didn't quite see the setup for that, but Lourlo is the only one who gets away. He's not going to be feeling good about that one though, as the rest of his team died in place of him, and that's going to be a Baron over for Fly.
FlyQuest strike back with a vengeance. A fantastic fight, a fantastic prize, and a huge swing.
Survivor's guilt for Lourlo after this one, and he's trying to defend the turret due to this Baroned up Caitlyn whittling him down.
I mean, what do? You just throw the Spirit's Refuge down, clear out the minions, but he's going to be back soon, and he's going to have fun.
Yeah. Let's take another look at how they actually caught him out. He was like circling around for a flank here or something. Really good collapse there by FlyQuest, so they jump on the opportunity, and Moon, dead center, nails the ultimate, and absolutely destroying ReignOver there. With that damage source from Team Liquid out, the chase is on for FlyQuest. Flash forward from Altec, flash forward from Moon, and they pick up the rest of the kills.
The instant removal of the hook as well. That was, and it was Mikhail's from Lemonnation that actually removed it. That's some timing. Captain Jack, your friend.
Ryze got his Quicksilver upgraded to Mercurial now as well. They are ready to roll. There's the Zeal now. Pretty good amount of gold at the right time for FlyQuest, honestly. And Team Liquid have to be a little bit cautious now. Baroned up Siege is coming their way. This is really going to be the most tense situation in the game. Will Team Liquid be able to turn around and dive from FlyQuest? Or do they slowly lose out on some more turret gold here?
This was a 4,000 gold lead for Liquid, and now it's a 2,000 lead for FlyQuest. That was a 6K swing just from the one fight in the Baron so far. And Baron buff is still active for another 2 minutes. Tier 2 under pressure here, but FlyQuest not exactly in any rush to take that one down. They know with only 10% of the HP remaining, they can do it pretty much anytime they feel like.
And FlyQuest's #1 goal is going to be protecting Altec. If they're able to do that, should be able to get a lot of gold here. This one's super free. Rotate down to bottom turrets right afterwards.
One tier 2 down, 2 to go. FlyQuest looking to build this lead up even further. 3.5 items done on Altec.
He's come
now
through
moving towards the inhibitor turret. ReignOver got to be careful. He has a GA, but he's not tanky.
Lourlo pushing for Team Liquid on the top side, but the turret's already dead.
Inhibitor turret's gone. FlyQuest is into the base, and Team Liquid's inhibitor now under pressure. Damage comes in. The inhibitor goes bye-bye. 31 minutes into the game. FlyQuest takes down the first one. As now they move themselves back towards bottom lane onto this tier 2. Still 1 minute of Baron to work with. Lourlo just chipping away at this turret.
Trying to fight his way out of the relegation tournament. One auto at a time as Shen.
It's the only way to do it.
And FlyQuest looking to put the stamp on this series.
1 foot in front of the other, one auto attack after another. Into that turret, time after time. He eventually brings it down, but now the tier 2 bottom side gonna fall for Team Liquid. FlyQuest looking to do even more if they can. TP used by Balls to get in here.
All right, for Team Liquid, it's Operation Assassinate Altec. If they cannot take down the Caitlyn, things are going to be very rough. Meanwhile, High is going to be running interference. This This Talon, level 17 now. He's got both summoners available. We have seen some very good team fighting on Talons and some very poor team fighting on Talons in the last month.
That's true.
Definitely depends on their use of their mobility to weave in and out. High so far has been quite good. He's got his Mercurials to rely upon. He has his Flash as well. See what they can get done.
It's not really hard to get kills on Assassins. The hard part about it is getting kills and then not killing yourself every single time you do it.
Fair enough.
And as 4-1, Hai's been doing a great job of that so far. Getting in, getting out, getting the job done. Story of the Talon this game, as now the rapid fire cannon done on that Caitlyn, the QSS. Gonna be building that into Mercurial Scimitar for the final item. Team Liquid has got to find some way to keep themselves out of the promotion tournament against this FlyQuest squad that has now taken over the game. Lourlo in the 1v1 versus Hai, not really afraid of him very much at all, until he pops the ultimate, turns things around with the bleed. Lourlo now forced to retreat.
Yeah, no problem there with the...
Uh-oh, Piglet, Zhonya's
sick
and
combo.
There. The classic.
Way to save yourself.
That's twice now.
So the thing is, Zhonya's is quite a long cooldown now as well. That was one of the nerfs they threw at the item, and now he doesn't have it up for the crucial siege coming from FlyQuest. Relentless.
Well, that final tier 2 is not going to be standing very long. They take it down. Balls eats the arrow. ReignOver and Lourlo trying to start the fight. The redemption comes in. Moon's going to be the one who's dragged in with the death sentence. DoubleLift getting a lot of free firing time, but the same can be said for Altec. DoubleLift forced to flash away. Hai grabbing the kill. They've got one onto ReignOver too. He's going to be respawning in just a second. Altec taken low, but not taken down. A triple kill for Hai. And ladies and gentlemen, FlyQuest have found a huge win.
Oh, well, Lemonnation with the flash kill there for the last one, and FlyQuest are alone in the Team Liquid base. ReignOver could not get past the Bash brothers of Moon and Balls. Stopped that initiation right in its tracks, and that's going to be the series.
A smooth team fight win for FlyQuest. They'll take the series. They'll send Team Liquid into the promotion tournament, and they will end this one 2-1.
Echo Fox fans rejoice.
Honestly, Echo Fox is probably as happy or potentially even happier than FlyQuest is at winning that game. Team Liquid, obviously not thrilled with the outcome of that one. It's never an easy thing to have a high-stakes game like that and walk away not finding that result that you wanted. But now they've got to prepare themselves for the promotion tournament in the upcoming week. FlyQuest, though, they achieved their goal. They said they wanted to make playoffs. They wanted to be a playoff caliber team. If you're not going to playoffs, what's the point? Well, the point is you're in. Time to show us what you got.
Don't have to worry about the point of not going to playoffs. You're going to playoffs.
You're going to playoffs. Congratulations. It's not a problem anymore. And Hai had some awesome plays on the Talon that game. Like, honestly, Hai's Talon just enabled so many different fights to go their way because the fights seemed like they were going the way of Liquid a couple of different times, and then boom, into the back line he goes.
Swoops in like Superman from off screen, picking up a bunch of kills. And man, Team Liquid do have their work cut out for them. I think that they will be confident going into the promotion tournament though. And they don't have to be super worried. You never want to have to actually play that out, but I think they will have the advantage there, especially as a returning LCS team.
And they had some, it's not like they lost this series in some sort of just gigantic sweep and none of the games were even close. Every single match here against FlyQuest was a close match. Liquid isn't a team that would be going into the promotion series like, oh man, we can't do anything, we can't win any games. They beat TSM yesterday. They almost beat FlyQuest today. They're going to be able to put up one hell of a fight against anybody they play against in the promotion tournament.
Yep. That's why they made all these changes, you know, adding DoubleLift, moving Piglet over to the mid lane role. So many of these changes were made, you know, in preparation so they could stay in the LCS, be here for summer, and they're going to fight tooth and nail to do that. Meanwhile, though, celebrate the winners here. FlyQuest, really outstanding finish to that series for them. Able to get it done even after, you know, relieving the pressure of, oh, we have to win to get into playoffs. Then they also are able to win in the third game series there, or third game of the series.
They rallied well. They got everything going together. Liquid, like we said, was ahead for a while, but then one really good fight into one really good Baron led to one really good game and FlyQuest managed to find their win from it. Now these guys, though, because we're talking about preparation, we're talking about changes, we're talking about all these things, FlyQuest is going to have some of that to do heading into playoffs. They got to make sure that they're ready to give it their all and really show everybody what they're made of come that time. But for more on that win, we still have Azael downstage, and he's there for an interview with the Fly.